What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today we're going to be working on getting the mini split installed in the shop. I've already done quite a bit of work in here already, including building this wall, putting plywood on it, and then painting it, priming it and painting it, and then installing the bracket for the indoor unit, and then drilling the hole for the refrigerant lines and stuff. I may or may not have recorded a time lapse for any of this, and if I have, I'll put it in so you can see what I'm talking about. But if I haven't, I'm just gonna, that's the final product. Okay, that's what it looks like. It looks a lot like this one, but instead of using drywall mud and drywall tape, I actually just use wood filler. And next time, hopefully when I do this, which won't be anytime soon, but I also would like it to be soon, I'm going to use drywall mud because it was a lot easier, and the wood filler was really hard to like put on and fill any cracks and holes and stuff. Although I can't really tell where any of the, I can tell where some joints are. But I don't have to worry about any of the tape peeling and bubbling like I did this other wall. But this wall, I didn't fill in any of these like textured spots. I only did a few of them just because they were really deep. And I don't mind the look of being able to see all the texture. But I do have to say, having a wall that's pretty darn smooth is kind of nice to have. I don't know, I still might stick with the wood filler and just go with a different brand because I didn't like the wood filler I used. But this video is not really about this wall. One of the reasons why I want to get this done as soon as I can is because winter is coming and I am not really prepared for it. I have a lot of stuff I need to do, stuff with the laundry room and bathroom renovation that I need to get done before it freezes. And I need to work on my truck, and I need to work on Ellie's car. I don't have enough time. It's kind of odd. I don't have enough time to work on those and get the house done, but I have enough time to get this shop renovation part done, this mini split install done, and the house done before it freezes. That's because I can work on my truck and Ellie's car in the winter in the shop and have it fairly warm in here. The other reason why I'm trying to do this and get it done as quick as possible is because I've had the mini split in the shop for a few months now, and I need the space. I've had it taking up a bunch of this space over here, and I need that space. And I'm going to take these vanities inside and store them inside, so then I can have the exercise equipment out here instead of inside. That gives me more space inside the house, but also I can do stuff out here in the winter, like fix my truck. The power steering's out, and I have a speed sensor issue. But other than that, you know, my truck is actually working now, so that's fine. And it's too cold some days, and it's too hot. Today is a high of 81. It's currently 77 degrees right now. So we're getting a little warm front here in this week. And I think next week it's going to be brought back down to like 50s. And that means that it's going to freeze soon. Today is October 4th. And probably by the end of October, there's going to be some freezing temperatures. And I can't get that. I can't let that happen because I still need to do some work with water and supply lines for the bathroom and laundry room. But that's not what this video is about. I keep getting sidetracked. So the mini split, I got a Mr. Cool, a 36,000 BTU Mr. Cool DIY unit. Really expensive, and it might be too big. It might be bigger than what I need, but one of the reasons why I got such a big unit is because this winter, I want to be able to be in here. Sorry for being dark and all that. I want to be in here and not be freezing cold. But I also don't necessarily want it to be, because the last year I used this little Dynaglow heater that did a fairly good job, but if I kept it on as like low as I can be, it'll constantly run, and my electric bill was so much. It was more than my house. And that is unacceptable. One reason was because of the ceiling. The ceiling is insulated, but a lot of it is like really thin, compressed insulation, and some of it is falling apart, this corner especially. And they're really high ceilings. It's all open. So this winter, I might string some plastic above these beams so the ceiling level is lower, and I have a shop fan to move more air around. And I know it's just plastic, but I am actually amazed at how well plastic does for insulation, because I have the new dining room area and the laundry room bathroom separated by a wall with plastic on it. And it does a great job of like having one room, the new dining room area have one vent for the AC, and then the laundry room and bathroom being all open, including the ceiling, and it being significantly hotter in the laundry room and bathroom area than the new dining room area, which is amazing to me. And I might do the same thing in here, but I can't. I already took the heater off because that was my plan, was just this winter I wasn't going to have that. That was only going to be last winter. Because in the summertime, I want AC. And one could argue that I could put the heater back and just deal with the winter like it is now. But I already have the mini split. I need to get it installed. I want to get it installed. And I want it to be done. So I've done some work already trying to get prepped for it. I had poured this little concrete pad the other day. It is completely cured. It's been, I don't know, several days since I've poured it. And I've used, I don't know, I have some extra bags in here. I have 2 extra bags. I have 8, so that's 6 bags. I used 6 80-pound concrete bags. And I did it all myself. I did the I don't know what this is called. Like I forgot. But I curved the corners or the edges. And I did it as good as I can. And it's definitely not the same. It definitely I could have done a better job. But it's my first concrete pour, actually, my very first one. And the like chrome circles on it is spray paint for the locations of the bolts for the outdoor unit, which I actually have all the supplies for. This bit is a masonry bit that is actually it says you can use for impacts and not just hammer drills. I don't have a hammer drill. Should have got one. Never did. But I have an impact. And I'm trying to see if this is going to work. And I'm hoping it works. Or I got these bolts that will fit in the hole and will hopefully not be too short, but also not too long. Because that concrete pad is not that long. And actually, I need a minimum of 2 7/8 inside the ground. And that doesn't leave a whole lot poking up, and I'm hoping it's enough to bolt the outdoor unit down. So I'm going to do that today, and I'm going to show you that I'm doing it so you can see and understand what I'm doing rather than me just showing you what I did. I also did get a few electrical stuff to hook it up, but that's inside because I am contemplating on getting a few different things because I've realized that I don't really need everything that I thought I needed, and I might need to get different things. At the end of the day, though, I think I may do one more trip to Home Depot, and I'll have everything I'll need. I need to get a different breaker, and I need to do a couple other things before I can actually fully install it, and I can install it hopefully in one day, and it won't be that big of a deal, because the indoor unit's going there. The line set will go down and over, and it'll hook up to the outdoor unit, which will be on the other side of this wall. I think that'll be good. I think that's enough line set. I have enough line set for it, and I don't think that I actually will need to get more, or I won't have any coiled up, and it'll all be kind of just out of the way for me. I don't have a line set cover, but I'm really hoping either in the next month or so, or maybe even in the spring, I can get a line set cover. It's not required, but it'll make it look better, and it'll protect it more from the sun and weather, which I would actually probably need to get that done. That being said, this clip is fairly long, so let's jump right into getting this bolt stuff figured out. Alright, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm really frustrated, and I failed. The bolts were not aligned with the mounting points for the outdoor unit, and I tried to make it work. It didn't want to work. The bolts were also too short. So, in order to get them out, I had to, 1, destroy part of the pad, 2, destroy the bolts, and 3, mess up part of the bit, probably wear it down more than concrete would. But it doesn't really matter because I either have to get longer bolts and or they're no matter what, I have to get longer bolts. They're either going to be the same 1/2 inch diameter or it will be a little bit smaller because I found out that it's pretty hard to get them through these mounting holes right here. And I already have to go to Home Depot, so it's okay in a way. But it's just really frustrating because I already bought them and I can't return them. And I can't return the bit. So now I have... The way I got them out was at first I tried to pry them out with a hammer and I forgot what that crowbar is. And then 3 of them wouldn't come out. So I started bashing them side to side to try to wiggle the wedge part and make it bigger so then I could pull it out, but it wasn't working. So I just took the drill bit and I just hammered them away. And now I patched all the holes. So no matter what, I have to wait at least maybe a few days in order for that to set, cure, be done with, so then I can put the outdoor unit back in place, right where it needs to be. And then I'll take a new drill bit, which will be either smaller or it'll be the same one, because I have to check to see which bolts I can use if they have the right size, because I might use 3/8 if they have 3/8. I might use a 1/4, but to me a 1/4 is too small, but I might have to use it because a 1/2 inch is a little too big. It did work, so I might keep it just so I could maybe save some money, but I have to drill the holes in place, which is going to be really difficult in the front. So I will have to just measure off of those holes in the back. That way I can get the holes as lined up as I can and then drill it. The problem I found out was when I tried to drill a hole, it would move the bit and then find a soft spot, and it would just break part of the top layer and then find the new spot for the bit to go. And I don't like that. So I may have to get a smaller bit anyways for like almost like a pilot hole. I might also just use one of my bits, like a regular bit that is going to be thrown out anyways. I don't know if I have any of those though for a pilot bit. That being said, I have to make a list of everything I need to get at Home Depot. I don't know if I'm going to go right now. I don't know if I'm going to go later tonight. I don't know if I'm going to go at all tonight. I do have an order to pick up and drop off that order to somewhere else. And then I have to go see my aunt because she wants me to help her with something. And then I can come back home and be done with tonight. I am doing all this because I want to be honest with you. I want to show you that I failed, I messed up, and I'm thankful that I didn't ruin the outdoor unit. I'm thankful that my pad is not all broken up, because that was a lot of work to do in one day. And I don't want to ever do that again by myself. Secondly, it would be kind of weird to just cut to a new day, so that's also why. But yeah, we'll see what happens to this. Alright, it's been a couple days. I got some stuff from Home Depot yesterday to hopefully get this at least installed on the outside. Like, I just want to install the box, to install the breaker, to put the outdoor unit in place and bolt it down. And it is a little chilly out, and I think it's about 55 degrees, so I have a big coat on, but I'm hoping to get this done so I can do other things today, because I have a lot to do. So let's get back into it. Let's try to do this one more time.
A few moments later.
What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today, this video, we're going to be trying to fix my mini split out in the shop. And some of you may not even know that I installed the mini split, but I installed it a year ago or something. And it's worked kind of good. I mean, the shop's not really built, set up for a mini split quite yet. That's why I put this plastic in to try to keep the air and heat in this area, especially in the winter. Because you could run that thing literally all day 24/7 and it won't get up to temperature. So many reasons why, but the walls are pretty thin and they don't have really great insulation. But that's why I built those two walls, one for the TV area and then one for the mini split. And I never actually posted any of the footage or edited any of the footage of me installing the system. So I'll probably do that in this video just for you guys. But the other thing is I need to fix it. What do I need to fix? Well, I need to replace the control board right here that goes into the outside unit, which is right there. And the other day, a couple weeks ago, we had a power outage in the middle of the night. And in that power outage, something got fried on this board here. And when I contacted Mr. Cool, because that's the company who makes these, it was still under warranty. So they said, hey, we'll send you a new board that you have to replace, but it'll cost you $15 for shipping. And at the time I was like, no, $15, that's not too bad. I mean, that's quite a bit, but sure, fine, if that's the case. But guess what? That took like a week to get here, or 2 weeks to get here, and it finally came, and I was busy working, and when I get home, it's really dark out. So today, I don't have a shift, and I would like to get this fixed before it gets too cold, because next week, I'm going on a little trip, and I just do not have the ability to work on this, and I don't want to work on it in the winter when it's literally like snow on the ground. Right now the shop says it's 35 degrees. I don't really know how cold it is outside exactly, but I'm gonna say about 35. It's warm enough that I can actually function, but it's cold enough where I need a source of heat, and the only source of heat I have right out here is gonna be a fire. I think I'm gonna make a little fire right behind me, and I think it's going to be close enough to the heat pump, the thing out here, the outdoor unit, that it'll keep me kind of warm, and I could stand by it to warm myself back up, especially with my hands, because it's going to be freezing. And some of you may say, well, Ryan, why don't you just wait until the spring? It'll warm up a bit. You'll come out here, and it won't even be too hot to work. You'll just have to work out, in the cold out here during the winter. Well, see, that's the problem. Is I don't really need to have heat. I really don't need to have the mini split on during the winter. And I actually don't. I have everything that is going to freeze and that needs to be kept warm in the house. But the thing is there have been a couple times where I've worked on the car and my truck out here and I needed to put the Eden Pures on. Now they work, but it takes a long time to warm up the shop and it doesn't warm up very much. They don't produce a lot of heat, and even when I turn on the big fan to move that air around a little bit more, still not. There's not enough heat that gets produced in here to warm it up enough. But the other thing is I actually still have to work on Ellie's car. Her headlights one of them went out, and I need to replace it. And replacing it, you need to take off the tires and the wheel well cover, and it's just a mess. Literally, it's a mess right there. That's from trying to see which freaking headlight bulb I need, because the one I got was wrong, and that comes in next week. So with all that being said, I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna make a little fire, but before I do, I need to actually make sure that I don't need to go anywhere, because once I get the fire started, I don't want to put it out to go somewhere else. So we'll see what happens. I actually have no idea how to replace it. It seems pretty simple, but the board itself is sitting inside of the unit upside down, and it's not super obvious how to open it up and take it out. So I'm actually going to go back inside and do a little bit of research before coming out here and taking this thing apart. Because at the end of the day, I do not want to take it apart and not be able to put it back together, or the thing not work. So I want to make sure I do everything right, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. Alright, so here is my little fire pit. I actually don't think that's enough paper, so this might not work, but we'll test. We'll try it out. I think I did it. Now, one of the things though is I'm gonna try to keep this as small as I can without it going out. I do have good pieces of wood to actually use, but I really don't want to use them. But I have twigs and stuff. I think it's already going out, so I gotta work on it, but we'll see. But this is what I'm working with. This is the control board upside down. Up in there is the control board. So I need to get this off and out of here and put the new one in. So this video is not going to be put out anytime soon. Nothing quite yet has gone wrong. There's one and only one problem, is that the thermal paste for this area, half of it's on there and half of it was on here. I cleaned this off because I have some in my office, but the amount I have only covered about this much, and there's nothing on here, and I didn't get any in the package. I'll go check though before I go inside, but I can't put that on here until I have a thermal pad there, because one, I don't want to have it running and maybe overheat or not cool or do whatever that thing is supposed to be doing. So I don't know what to do now, because a lot of these are unplugged, and if I wait 2-3 weeks to do this again, I'm not gonna, or even just 2-3 days, I'm not gonna remember what goes where. And the new one has all these wires hooked onto the board, whereas like online when I looked at how to do this, they just hooked the old wires. They disconnected the wires from the old board and connected to the new board. But I didn't do that. So now I'm really curious on what I'm supposed to be doing now. So who the heck knows? So a day after we came back from our trip, something came in the mail, and that would be thermal paste for the HVAC system. But I emailed Mr. Cool and had asked what kind of thermal paste to use because I was like really confused. And thermal paste only lasts for so long, and the thermal paste that I got should last for 3 to 5 years is what I kind of read. And that kind of sucks because I don't want to do that again. I got the Noctua H2, whatever, this one. And it came in the mail a day after we came back from our trip. So a couple days after that, I went out here and I started working on it and I got it replaced. And it was pretty easy to squeeze it all on. I got the 10 milligram syringe, which I used all of it, which was actually kind of surprising to me. I put it on there and I connected all the things and it works. So here's the remote. And right now I have it set to 72, as you could tell on the remote, and you might be able to tell from there. It takes a little bit to get the refrigerant to warm up and actually for it to start blowing, but it does blow warm air, so it works. I haven't tried the cooling or the other settings, but I'm assuming they also work. I'm not sure how to prevent that from happening again, because what happened, which I mentioned in earlier this video, was we had a power outage, and I'm assuming that when the power came back on, there was a bit of a surge, and so it blew a capacitor, and that capacitor prevented it from having some sort of communication with the outdoor unit. And because it was under warranty, they sent me out a part, and I only had to pay $15 for shipping, and it did finally come after a little while, and I put it together myself, and it works. And right now, the air just came on, and I bet it's a little cool at first. Oh, no. I can smell the heat. I can feel it too. Do I recommend Mr. Cool? For those of you who want to save some money from getting someone to come over, some HVAC technician to come over and install a whole unit, I bet you could save money. I do. They are kind of expensive, but if you get, if you have the DIY kit and you do it yourself and you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. It's also a lot cheaper to get a unit that's not pre-charged, to just get a either line set or basically just a cover, and then have someone come and install the lines, but you install the units yourself. If you do that, you could probably save even more money. I bought this a while ago, and I put it on, I installed it and put it together myself, and it seemed pretty easy, and it was far enough that I don't have to coil any of the wire. But other than that, that'll be it for today's video. If you like this video, be sure to smack the like button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll help me a lot, and turn on post notifications. I will see you guys all next time.